Let's bring our international panel in tonight. Sky News contributor Kosha Gada and former Labor MP Michael Danby. Kosha, Michael, welcome. Great to see you.
Thanks.
Can we start with Nigel Farage? He's decided to stand for the UK's upcoming general election. I think it was a bit of a surprise announcement. Here he is today telling the world he was going to do whatever he can to disrupt things.
So I'm coming back as leader of Reform UK, but not just for this election campaign. I'm coming back for the next 5 years. And there is one very simple reason for that. We all know already that the Conservative Party will be in opposition. But it won't be the opposition. They are incapable of it. They've spent most of the last 5 years fighting each other rather than standing up and fighting for the interests of this country.
Well, Michael, Farage is hoping to pick up disillusioned voters from, I guess, from both the Conservatives and Labor. Is he going to do that?
He's changed his mind just recently. He wasn't running just a few days ago, but he's changed his mind because the polling for the Conservatives is so catastrophic. He thinks that in England and in the South East in particular that he'll be able to pick up votes.
He says they've lost already.
The polling says that the Conservatives may only get 75 seats, but it's not just him picking up seats in the South East. It's that mad George Galloway, the far left and Islamist vote in the industrial North East that might do well too.
Kosha, we'll talk Trump in a moment, but is Nigel Farage trying to be a mini Trump?
Some actually say that the Trump movement and that whole thing was inspired in some ways by what he did and Brexit. So I think they're all mirroring each other. And as there are more and more disaffected voters across the Western world, you're going to see versions of that, I think, continue to grow.
So he will have some sort of an impact on that vote, you would think.
I think so. And the seat he's running for, Clacton, there's a precedent there of a former Conservative.
Or Claxton?
Clacton? I'm not sure. But somebody who...
I didn't watch Steptoe and Son enough.
He's a character. He's a real character. Let's talk about Donald Trump. Now, he's a convicted felon, as we know. Someone listed on a bunch of countries today where he now can't travel to, including Australia. I don't think Donald Trump's got much of a plan to come here. Guilty verdict. What does that actually mean for him? Does it mean, as many commentators are saying, that his poll numbers go through the roof?
This is the 69 or 72 million vote question that everybody's waiting for. Look, this thing will likely get overturned on appeal, but not before the election. That was probably by design. To his base, it's made him a martyr. Beyond a martyr, it's actually made him a revolutionary in some ways, and you're seeing that with the hero's welcome he came to at the UFC and other things like that that we can glean from. The calculus on the other side, though, is that there's some swath of the electorate, suburban moms, left-leaning independents who don't love Biden and might have considered Trump, but they won't now because those words, convicted felon, is just a bridge too far for them to get over, and which group is more potent is anybody's guess.
Michael, we know that a lot of Americans don't vote because it's not compulsory. There was some theory that those that don't vote may come out in bigger numbers and support Trump because of what the New York courts have done to him. This whole thing that Americans in middle America hate what the swamp and the elites in New York do to people like Trump.
Well, I think Kosha's focused on the right people, the centrists, the independents in the middle. Some say that it hangs on 4,000 swing voters in the 7 swing states, Steve. So I don't know how legal injustices affect them. But I think the fact they didn't let that bloke from the Federal Electorate Commission in the Clinton administration appear before the court does seem a bit crook to us Australians.
Kosha, July 11 sentencing. Does he go to jail?
You know, nothing can be put past this.
Surely that would be one of the most extraordinary things. It would be. Danby in particular, he's a bit older than us, but we've all witnessed incredible things in our lifetime. This would be one of the most incredible.
It really would be, but if you think about it, you know, he's the only president who's been impeached twice, the only president whose private residence has been raided with armed FBI agents who were given authority to use lethal force, the only one who's been charged with criminal convictions over a bookkeeping error, and the only one who was convicted on that. So if you keep bridging that gap, you know, it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility, though I think it's unlikely. There could be other versions of it, like putting him under house arrest, for example. So it's not jail, but it would still impede him from campaigning. It could be anybody's guess.
And in the 30s, Steve, Earl Long, the governor of Louisiana,
ran a long time.
ran for the governor from the steps of the state mental institution, as they call it in the United States.
Kosha, just finally, the Hunter Biden thing, is that affecting Joe at all?
I think it will, just because it's not about Hunter Biden, but through the course of that trial, you're going to see other dirty laundry from that family come out, and Hunter is a hot mess. So there's lots of things that come out.
Dad and Mum came out today and said, "Oh, he's our son. We might be the president, but we love him."
It'll tar him, and it just creates more noise about the character of the Biden family and by extension, Joe. So I do think it'll play some role.
We are in for one hell of a roller coaster.
say the
Kosha,
least.
Michael, thank you for both for coming in.